everybody, and welcome to the next 20 minutes where I'm going to be taking you through HMP Stafford. Very proud to be the Governor of HMP Stafford. My name's Ralph Lubkowski. I've been here now for about 2.5 years, and we would have been hosting an Insights event this year, but obviously for obvious reasons we were unable to do that. So I just thought this was a chance to share the work that we do, get you to meet some of the people that do such a fantastic job here in making this such a fantastic prison. So thank you very much for joining us, and we'll get started on our visit to HMP Stafford. Okay, we're now inside the prison, having come in through the main gate. This is the gate area, as you can see. We've got some additional measures at the moment from a COVID perspective. You may have noticed outside that we've got 2 metre spaces marked out for when people queue to come into the prison. We've also got the foot dip to make sure that we're keeping it as sterile as possible. We've got hand steriliser in place here, but ideally what we're asking staff to do and make sure they do is use the temporary seat that we have installed. Which enables me and all the staff when they come in to be able to properly wash their hands. Now into the main prison. Straight in front of me and behind where you're looking now is our administrative block, where a large number of the offices for the establishment are. Stafford's a really old prison, dates back right to the 18th century, and that administrative block is the oldest part of the jail, dating right back to the late 18th century, as I say. So a real place with a real history. We're going to now go up and see our bistro, which has been normally provides meals for staff, and has recently been obviously a really big part of how we've been managing to keep morale up for the staff and make sure that with all the restaurants and cafes closed, they've got access to food and drink during the shifts that they're working. Soon we'll be looking to roll that out across the prison in terms of making sure that we give our visitors full access to that as well. So that'll be something for after we're through the COVID situation. We'll take you upstairs now to visit the guys that work in there and do such a great job. Yeah, so I'm going to hand over now to one of our team, Karen, who will tell you a little bit about the unusual circumstances of her being in here. Karen, over to you.
Hi, so usually I'm a programmes facilitator, but obviously due to COVID, we've now had to close that facility down. We were given the opportunity to actually expand and look at new ways that we could develop our own skills, at which point we were approached by the prison to come and run the bistro. It's been a perfect opportunity for us to keep the staff fed through this crisis and also be able to get the guys still being able to come into purposeful activity on a daily basis and produce the cakes and the nice food that we're continuing to offer on service every day.
Okay, so next I'm going to take you through to our visits hall. Sadly at the moment, of course, we're not able to facilitate social visits. Hopefully we'll be able to get them back up as soon as the guidance indicates it's safe to do so. But I'll take you through and give you an idea of the visits room. We recently refurbished the visits room. It's a very different space now to what it used to be. Currently, as you can see, we've got an area over in the corner for socially distanced meetings, where we meet with our residents' council on a fairly regular basis. Really important to keep that engagement going. You'll see artwork around the walls, and most of that's been produced by our team of in-house resident artists in residence who work as artists on commission, providing us with work to brighten the place up and showcase their talents as well. Again, at the moment, we're obviously not delivering education, otherwise I would have been able to take you to see the work, the studio that they work out of, but this gives you a sample of the work that they do. Visits and family contact's a really important part of what we do at Stafford, and I know as it is in every prison, we know that golden thread of family contacts and family engagement is really vital to the journey through custody being positive for the men that are in our care. And also it's really important that we make sure that the families on the outside have that contact and have that reassurance as well. So yeah, it's a win-win, and we've invested a lot in that, as hopefully you can see from the visits room and the visit centre obviously over the road as well. Thank you. At Stafford, we're really fortunate to have a fantastic industries facility with a whole range of different workshops available for people to work in, gain qualifications, and earn a wage while they're here at Stafford. We generate a lot of income for the establishment and for the service as well, so it's a really fantastic part of what we do. Obviously what I'd like to show you now is we're not actually fully at work, but we are operating a limited amount of activity in the essential services that we deliver here at Stafford to help support the rest of the estate as well as ourselves. And I'm going to go and take you now to one of the workshops that's been doing some particularly fantastic work during the COVID crisis as well as prior to this. So we'll take you there now. Thank you. So we're now in the textiles workshop. Sharon, this is your workshop. Tell us a little bit about what you do on a day-to-day basis at Stafford.
Right, here at Stafford we make sheets and blankets, we make pillowcases for the NHS as well. We also make curtains for the establishments. We've made curtains for over half the establishments in the prison service. The men work very hard, they do an excellent job. They come into Stafford not knowing any skills of sewing. We start them off on the basic skills of learning how to use a sewing machine. We also encourage them to clean up after themselves and look after that machine, so they take responsibility for the machine. Also the scissors, they have the same scissors each time, so they look after those. They start off with basic skills and then they can work their way up. They start off with sheets, then go to blankets, pillowcases, and then to curtains. And they learn lots of skills making curtains.
So really, Sharon, at the moment, these guys, and you're one of our key workers for the service, and that's why we've maintained the workshop being open. But you've been doing some special work as well, haven't you? Do you want to tell a little bit about what you've been doing specifically for COVID for the community?
Once we heard about what was happening in the community, we found out that the NHS was short of scrubs. And I have a friend who was starting up an organisation to help the local hospitals. And I thought, oh great, I'll try and help her. I come to my manager and he said, whoa, great, this is a great idea, can we do anything to help? And there was some excess fabric that we could use, and once I mentioned it to the men, they couldn't stop. They wanted to learn every skill there was possible, how to make the trousers, how to make the tops, and they were so encouraged, you couldn't stop them. They were so glad to be helping the community. It's been a wonderful atmosphere and a wonderful encouraging the men. It's been so positive.
Brilliant. And how's that made you feel as one of the residents here at Stafford?
Well, it's still helping on the outside of the world and just keep something different.
Brilliant. No, that's good. And I know you have been a huge help. And I think in the end, how many sets of scrubs did we produce in the end, Sharon?
450.
450 sets of scrubs. And have we moved on to making something else now?
Yeah, we've done wash bags as well. We've done 350 wash bags, and we've been making masks in the prison service for the staff and for the residents to use as well.
Wonderful. Well, thank you very much indeed on behalf of everybody, and certainly on behalf of me. Much appreciated. Gardens outside G Wing, which at the moment actually we're using as a shielding wing here at Stafford, but during usual times this is a real hub of activity again, and beautiful gardens, and a recent addition that I'm going to hand over now to a familiar face who you met earlier, Karen, who'll tell you a little bit about what she's standing next to and what they mean to the prison. Karen.
So as you can see, we've got 2 beehives here at Stafford, one of the first jails in the country to produce honey at quite a mass. It's a really good project for the guys that we've been able to keep going throughout this COVID crisis due to the fact that it is livestock, so we can still have the guys down here. Through social distancing, we've got the 2 hives, so we can have one person working on the one hive and one person working on the other hive, and hopefully by this weekend we hope to produce our next lot of honey for the prison, normally between £50 to £100 worth.
We're now in the paddock. Really special part of HMP Stafford that we've introduced in the past 12 months, which is home to some of our more popular residents, I think it's fair to say. I'm not going to tell you any more than that at the moment. I'm going to hand over to Adele, who had the idea for this initiative. So I'm going to let her explain a little bit about where you are and how we got here.
Right, hello, I'm Del Badman, I'm a senior officer. Basically, I was looking at the benefits of therapy animals in the prison setting, and a little bit of research led me to America, where goat therapy is actually quite a big thing. Put a business case towards the governor, who read it twice, and here we are. They're available for the staff, they're available for the residents. It's a real nice place to come and sit. Staff can come in after lunch, or they'll bring somebody that's particularly stressed or on that.
So Adele, obviously we're really proud of what we've done down here. It's a big part of what we do, and one of the things about rehabilitative culture that I talked about. But also you've been doing a lot while we've been in this COVID crisis, haven't you? And quite a different role. So do you want to talk quickly a little bit about that?
Yeah, before COVID I was quite heavily involved in the culture and things we do at Stafford, like the Talents Unlocked and the arts and things. So obviously looking for something to do during COVID, came to the distraction packs and bits and pieces that we can provide to help out the residents while they're in the cell, or things that they can pick up while they're on the landing that they can take back to the cell. We've had a few competitions. Art competitions, so it's things like that, things that the public have actually sent us and from other agencies, and we've just made sure we've got it out there for anybody that needs it.
Brilliant, thank you very much, Adele, that's great. Right, so we're now standing outside of Delta Wing. Delta Wing's normally our induction unit, early days in custody, and recently has had another particular purpose. I'm going to hand over to one of the staff that's been working on there to introduce himself and tell you a little bit about what he does, but also what he's been doing particularly over the past couple of months while we've been dealing with COVID. Okay.
Thanks, sir. I am Officer John Kirkwood, Delta Wing Inductions, and inductions here, we take the guys who come into us our first nights in custody for their first 7 days here at HMP Stafford, and we walk them through their initial week here. We offer support programs, we give them an induction booklet that they work through, and in those 7 days, we walk them through the healthcare facilities at the prison. We walk them through the support network, such as the Samaritans, the listeners, the Chaplaincy. We get them inducted into the gymnasium, the library, the workshops. We get them settled onto the wing, because the first 7 days in custody, whether it's your first time in custody or your 30th time in custody, can be a massive change. And that's when residents are at their most vulnerable. So it's our roles as inductions officers to make it as safe and secure for them as possible.
Brilliant, thank you very much, John. And I think following on from Jonathan's fantastic introduction there into the work that he does, I'm also going to show you some images as well, obviously separate to this, just to make sure that we maintain the integrity of the unit, but just show you some images of the cleaning and the spaces and the cleanliness on that wing, which I know firsthand is absolutely second to none. So hopefully following this there'll be some images of that, just so you can see the hard work and the effort that does go into keeping that wing as safe as it can be. Okay, so welcome to the Healthcare Centre at HMP Stafford. One of the key partnerships in any prison is a partnership with a healthcare provider, and never before has that been truer than at the moment as we deal with the current crisis. So I thought I'd bring you here to see Jess, who's our Care UK Healthcare Manager. Welcome, Jess. Jess, just tell a little bit about, I guess, the normal challenges in the day-to-day running of healthcare at Stafford, and how COVID has had an impact on that, and how we're currently managing the situation as it is now.
Okay, so hi, our overall healthcare service is quite large in all fairness. We run a variety of services. So within the healthcare service we've got the primary care, so that's your basic practice nurse, GP and AMP service. But we also have additional to that. So what we do have is our GPs, we have our dental service, We have our sexual health service, we also run opticians, we run podiatry, we run physio, we have an x-ray service that come in and an ultrasound service that come in. So as well as COVID and being able to manage all that, one thing that we've had to do is continue that service running where possible. Within HMP Stafford, so we have a really high number of patients with long-term conditions. So that means that within COVID, we've had to make sure that we don't mismanage our patient population. So as well as having to manage COVID and the challenges that come with that, we've also wanted to make sure that our patients that need that regular care and support, we continue to do so.
Hello, my name's Jane Tolley and I'm the catering manager at HMP Stafford. Welcome to our kitchen. We're very proud of the latest HMIP results, which have shown that we have an 86% positive feedback from residents regarding the food that we provide. We work closely with the Residents' Council, Equalities Group and the Chaplaincy to provide food for special and medical diets and also to facilitate religious festivals. We've just completed Ramadan for 2020, which has gone extremely well, and all residents participated in a special meal on Sunday the 24th of May to close with the Feast of Eid. Residents have worked 7 days a week for the past 4 weeks and they've done an extremely good job on that.
Yeah, I'm Dawn Liversidge, I'm residential CM on the main board at Stafford. So the space that you see here at the moment, prior to the bunker bins being put in, it was actually we had a full rail track. What we had was 12 residents that were doing an MVQ level 2 in rail engineering and track maintenance. Obviously, recent times we've had to obviously take the rail track temporarily away. It will come back once obviously the regime returns to normal. We've got, as you can see, 15 bunker bins. So we've got 13 slightly higher level. We've got 2 more just around this corner in the staff office. The idea of it is say this is a temporary accommodation, but the idea is to get as many people as we possibly can into single cell accommodation. So the 13 up on here, as you see, will be some of our shielding residents, which are the people that are the most vulnerable. So the idea is to safeguard them as much as we possibly can. And the 2 pods that we have just here will be 2 orderlies. So they'll be collecting food and maintaining the grounds and working with the staff. Okie dokie. So if you want to come up these stairs, we'll just show you into one of the pods. So this is just one of, all pods are exactly the same. As you can see onto the right, you've got obviously mattress and a toilet and a sink onto the left. They're quite a good size. There's TV, kettle, obviously everything that you actually need for the day and night.
Okay, so we've already mentioned during your tour with us how many of our residents here are older, significantly older. 40% of our population are over the age of 50. So that presents a specific set of challenges in terms of making sure that they're well looked after, that their health needs are met, their social care needs are met, but also that there's sufficient activity to keep them occupied and keep them engaged, I guess. We know that very difficult in custody for older people, and that they tend to age faster in custody. That's well established. So we're trying to do something really positive for them. And one of the chief people that's been involved with that here is Trish Biddulph, who's just going to take you through our senior support group and what that means, and talk to you a little bit about what she's been doing during COVID for our older residents as well. So Trish, tell us a little bit about what you do in non-COVID times, I guess.
In non-COVID times, the senior support group is primarily to encourage the elderly residents to take part in a wide range of activities. Our activities are aimed at providing both physical and mental support, whilst also giving a sense of community and support. We provide a wide range of activities such as card crafting, flower making, gardening, and these also allow an opportunity for our elderly residents to engage in active citizenship, because the flowers and cards created here are available to our wider population and can be handed out during a visit.
Shall we go and have a look, Trish?
We will.
Wonderful, thank you. Lead the way.
Okay, this is our main craft room where normally all the crafting activities would take place flower making, arts, clay modelling, etc. Due to COVID, obviously that can't happen, but we are doing our best now to make sure that various materials for crafting still goes out to the wings, to our elderly residents. They have all sorts of packs ready, made up by the 2 residents that can come in here, and they put them together and I distribute them, whilst also making sure that we have a reasonable sense of engagement and keep the community spirit going by allowing them to write little notes that we put in our newsletter and send that out once a week, so that they all manage to keep in touch and know what each other's doing.
Thanks very much for that, Trish. I think that's the perfect link to next person on our tour today, who's been absolutely critical to our handling of COVID, but is also our functional lead for adult safeguarding, social care and older residents, which is a new job that we've created to reflect the need here at HMP Stafford. So I'm going to hand over to Karen to tell you a little bit about her role and also about what she's been doing through COVID. Karen.
As a senior point of contact for COVID, I find it extremely challenging. Versions have been changing constantly, and our main priorities was communicating to the residents, staff and visitors as well, because they also were very worried about their partners, their loved ones within the establishment. So as a community, the biggest thing we needed to do was we needed to get the communication out via newsletters. So we did newsletters to residents, we also did newsletters to staff, and we also gave them a letter to send out to their families with a stamped address envelope so they could further send the information out and explain what was going on within the jail as well, in respect of isolating. We were isolating wings. Anybody that was symptomatic was moved to a residential unit, so we could secure the area. They used different showers. We gave them phone calls. So all that was communicated back to the loved ones, also the residents, and also the staff in regarding the cleanliness of coming in through collecting their keys, regarding coming into the establishment and washing their hands, and continuously social distancing.
So Joe, really good to see you, and just wondered if you would mind talking a little bit about what the chaplaincy offers at HMP Stafford, what you provide, and anything else you'd like to tell us really about the role of chaplaincy here at Stafford.
Chaplaincy is really well attended by all faiths and none at HMP Stafford. This place, this beautiful chapel, is almost full up on a Sunday morning, and we have lots going on here during the week for all faiths and none, and a separate mosque down the other end of the prison.
Fabulous, and I know an important part of Stafford, the chaplaincy is, and how you provide a wonderful service in so many different ways. During COVID, obviously things have changed a bit. Do you want to tell me a little bit about how the chaplaincy have reacted and responded to the needs of COVID?
Well, because all worship of any kind has been curtailed and stopped in the community, we've had to do the same in the prison. And all we can offer at the minute is a bit of space and quiet time in this building. And it's interesting how many men are asking for that at the moment. We also offer the opportunity to light a candle at the time of a funeral, or in remembrance of somebody who has died, or on the anniversary of a difficult time. So this place is being used. It's a place of refuge, but it's also very empty a lot of the time, which is sad.
Yeah, agreed. Thanks very much for joining us on this very short and condensed tour of HMP Stafford. I'm very proud to have shown you around the place. Of course, normally there's a lot more going on and so much more for you to see. And we'll look to do some more of these videos in future if you found it interesting. By all means, hopefully you can let us know and give us some feedback. Do please check us out on at Stafford_HMP, or I'm at HMP Stafford Gov on Twitter. And thank you very much for joining us, and hopefully we'll see you again in better times and different times when we're through this very challenging period of time. And in the meantime, stay safe, and we'll keep everybody that's here living and working here safe as well. Bye now.